and stay. So before you come into your constructive rest, into your Shavasana, please make sure you've got some equipment around you today. You will need 2 yoga bricks or small hardback books. You will need a cushion from your sofa, or a yoga block, or a rolled up blanket to sit on. When you're ready, come down to lying down. Have a blanket just to cover you, to keep you warm. Arranging your legs and feet, your arms and hands comfortably. Something to support the head. Just close the eyes. Just starting here with taking 3 deep breaths. 3 deep breaths in. 3 deep breaths out. As you settle into a natural rhythm of the breath today, just knowing throughout your practice you will hear sounds inside of your room and sounds outside. These are not distractions, not disruptions, simply what's happening around us in our practice today. Beginning to notice your mind as it wanders, jumping from thought to thought. See if you can gently guide your attention and focus down to your stomach or to your chest. And as you breathe in, feeling them rise, breathing out, just feeling them fall. Simply continue in this practice, observing the sensations of your breath. Again, observing the mind as it wanders. See if you can release those thoughts. Returning your attention and focus back to your breath. Breathing in, you follow the breath in. Breathing out, following the breath out. The mind wanders. Gently guiding attention back to your breath. And as you do that, letting go of any expectations or judgment of your practice here today. Breathing in, just feeling your stomach rise. Breathing out, feeling the stomach fall. Learning to be comfortable in this stillness. Knowing what it's like just to lie here and breathe. And then just as we started, taking those 3 deep breaths in and out. If the knees are bent, start to straighten your legs out in front of you. We're going to come into a lovely full body stretch. So carefully, slowly just start to raise up the arms. To where it feels comfortable today through your shoulders. I'm going to come into that lovely full body stretch through the whole length of the body. Fingertips down through the arms, legs, feet and toes, observing the rib cage just lifting, creating more space, vital space in the body. Releasing here when you're ready the arms, and start to carefully bend up the knees, drawing the knees up over the chest. Interlace the fingers around the knees, around the shins. And as we start to enjoy that lovely stretch through the lumbar spine, squeeze into the belly, either keep still or gently rock from side to side. Maybe now just starting to blink the eyes open if the eyes aren't already open. Bring awareness back into the room. Bring the knees back to centre. Separate the fingers and cup the kneecaps with the palms of your hands. So you want right hand on top of right knee, left hand on top of left knee, fingers pointing down towards the toes. Just start to circle the knees towards the ceiling. Just enjoying that stretch through the hips, massaging the belly, the lower back. Not making the circles too wide to begin with, just allowing the body to be warmed up with this movement through the hips and the knees. Sensing it's also warming up into the shoulders. Don't rush, take time. And then change direction when you're ready. Bring the knees back to centre. Release the soles of the feet onto the floor. Release the arms and hands to rest back alongside the body. And as you straighten out the legs in front of you, keep the engagement through the feet, toes towards the sky, and just arrange the body to ensure that you feel fully symmetrical resting on the floor. We're releasing the shoulder blades down into the earth. We're going to look after the neck by tucking the chin down into the chest this morning. Keep the left leg nice and heavy on the earth. When you're ready, start to bend up the right knee. Interlace the fingers around the right knee, right shin, and guide that right thigh, right knee in towards the side of the body. And we've not lost that connection through the feet. The feet are still engaged, toes towards the sky. Just breathing into this variation of Apanasana. Maybe this is enough for you today, staying here if it is. If you want to take it one stage further and there's nothing going on with the neck or with the head, you're going to inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to lift the head off the floor, draw the nose in towards that right knee, and activate and hover through that left leg, toes towards the sky. Breathe in, but also remembering you've got the option to come out of this anytime you need to. Dynamic version of Apanasana. Challenging those core abdominal muscles. Challenging our breath. Inhale here. As you exhale, slowly, carefully releasing the head back onto the floor. When you're ready, release through that right leg. Keep the engagement through the legs, through the feet. Let's swap sides. Let's bend up the left knee. Interlace the fingers around the left knee, left shin. Both sets of toes are pointing up towards the sky. We feel relaxed through the shoulders. If this is enough, stay here. If you want to take it one stage further, just as we did on our right side, inhale here. As you exhale, pick the head off the floor, draw the nose in towards that left kneecap, and activate and hover that right leg about an inch above the mat. Keep breathing, and remember to come out any time you need to. Inhale here. As we exhale, slowly, carefully releasing the back of the head down onto the floor. You're going to release the fingers around the left knee. Bring the right knee up to meet the left. Gently hug the knees in, rock from side to side. Shoulders relaxing, releasing. Releasing the jaw, the tongue. Maybe allowing the eyes to close for a moment. Bring the knees back to centre when you're ready. Raise your right arm. Keep that right arm elevated as you carefully make your way onto your right side. Just using that raised arm to rest your head. Allowing yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. When you're ready, bring awareness, attention into your left fingers, your left hand. When you're ready, push down into that hand. Use that hand to steady yourself as you come all the way up to seated. We're going to come into a comfortable Sukhasana to begin with. So finding your yoga block, your cushion from your sofa or a rolled up blanket. Sitting with the legs extended all the way out in front. Careful of hamstrings. Take a micro bend through the knee or prop up something behind the back of the thighs. We want nice engagement through the legs, toes towards the sky. We feel comfortable with our pelvic bone on top of whatever's supporting us, the cushion, the blanket, the block. Just release the arms and hands for a moment. Sense the spine lengthening, creating space around the rib cage. Feeling of buoyancy and lightness through the whole length of the spine up through the crown of the head. You're going to bend up your right knee and plant the sole of that right foot about a fist distance from the inside of the left thigh. You're going to wrap your right arm around your right leg. And from here, we're going to take the left hand all the way round, coming onto fingertips behind us. So as we take that left arm behind us, there's a tendency that the rib cage wants to follow. So keep the rib cage towards me as you take the left hand, fingertips pushing down onto the earth. If you need a little bit of height, take a book or something just so the fingertips are a little bit higher for you. But remember to bring the rib cage back to centre. Keep the toes pointing on those on the left foot towards the sky. Inhale here, lengthen. And as you exhale, push down into that right foot to rotate all the way round towards the left. Keep breathing. And just tuck the chin in to keep that lovely length through the back of the neck. Breathe in here. Nice open twist. Keeping the chest nice and open. Keeping the spine nice and mobile, the muscles, tissues and ligaments surrounding the spine. Inhale here, lengthen. As you exhale, keep that nice length through the spine, the crown of the head towards the sky. Carefully guide your ribs back to the front. Bring the left arm round, straighten out through the right leg. Adjust the sitting bones once again on top of the block if you need to. Release the fingers, release the shoulders. Once again, that lovely feeling of lightness and buoyancy through the spine, the body, out through the crown of the head. The legs engaged, toes on the right foot towards the sky as you bend up the left knee. Wrap the left arm around the left leg. Remembering to keep the ribs towards the front, take the right hand behind, coming onto fingertips. Inhale here, lengthen. As you exhale, push down to that left foot. Keeping that length through the spine as you rotate to the right. Tucking in the chin, keep breathing here, don't hold the breath. Inhale here. Lengthen through the spine, keep that lovely length. As you exhale, slowly, carefully bring the ribs back to centre. Bring the right arm, right hand round. Release the left. Straighten out through that left leg. Nice. Let's come off of our block or our blanket or whatever we're sitting on, and we're going to come to line on our fronts. So for a moment, have some padding underneath the front of the hips, around the belly. We're going to come into a twist variation of locust pose. We're going to come all the way down to line on our front. So just give yourself a moment to arrange the blanket as you need to. You want to pad out around the front of the pelvis, the pubic bone. You're going to bend up your elbows. You're going to release your forehead onto the mat. And what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and come into a nice twist, a rotation through the thoracic, the lumbar spine. Just sensing how it feels through the back for you today. Don't take it too far. You're going to keep your forehead on the back of your hands. You're going to keep the left leg nice and heavy on the earth. Both sets of toes are pointing up towards the sky. Take a bend in the right knee. Right toes pointing up towards the sky. You're going to inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to start to push in as you start to take that right foot over the back of you. Breathe in here. Inhale here. As you exhale, coming back. We're going to do a couple more of those. Keep the head where it is. Keep the toes pointing on both sets of legs. Inhale. As you exhale, start to take that right leg up and over. Maybe it reaches the floor over on the left, maybe it doesn't. Keep breathing. Inhale as you exhale. Coming back to lay down. Bring that right leg back and our last one. Inhale here. As you exhale, pointing through that right leg, taking that right leg all the way up and over. See if it can reach the floor, don't worry if it doesn't. Keeping the head on the hands. Inhale as you exhale. Bring that right leg back, release the right leg, point the toes this time, bend up the left knee. Toes on the left foot towards the sky. Keep the forehead on the back of the hands. Release through the arms, release the shoulders. Inhale here. As you exhale, take that left leg up and over. Maybe it reaches the floor on the right side, maybe it doesn't. Keep breathing, keep the forehead on the back of the hands. Well done. Inhale as you exhale. Coming back down. Keep both sets pointing towards the sky, both sets of toes pointing towards the sky. Inhale here. As you exhale, taking that left leg up and over. Keep the forehead on the back of the hands. Keep breathing. Inhale as you exhale, coming back down onto both sets of legs. And our last one. Inhale here. As you exhale, push that left leg up and over. Inhale as you exhale, coming back. Releasing all the way down. Releasing that left leg. Straightening the top body up onto the mat. Release the hands, take the hands underneath the shoulders, push up and back into a much needed child's pose. Sink the hips down towards the belly. Move the blanket to pad out the knees if you need to, melting the belly, the chest all the way down to the floor. Inhale here. As you exhale, slowly, carefully uncurling the spine, coming all the way up. We're going to remove everything from our mats. Remove your socks unless you want your special yoga sticky socks on. You will need to move your yoga bricks or your small hardback books towards the top of your mat. You might need to use these in a moment. We're going to come into downward facing dog, into a variation of low lunge, into a rocking low lunge, which is great for runners or those of you that have been walking quite a lot through the lockdown. It's going to really work and stretch through the hamstrings, the quads, and the calf muscles into the ankles. When you're ready, let's come on to all fours. Starting to get ready to come into our downward facing dog, all fours, fingers spread, wrists underneath the shoulders. Push the earth away. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Looking down towards the mat, releasing any tension in the neck. Tap the toes under when you're ready, pushing up and back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, ribs towards the thighs. The neck is relaxed. Walk the dog when you're ready. Slowly. Going to come back into static downward facing dog. I'm going to shift the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg up. Three-legged dog. When you're ready, start to shift the weight over the hands. So step that left foot through. So we know from practice when we do that, the leg gets to about here. Use your left hand to place the foot in between the hands. You're keeping on toes on the right foot and you're going to find some height. So bring the bricks or your small hardback book towards you. From here, we're just going to rock backwards and forwards. Feeling that stretching through the hamstrings, through the quads, release through the shoulders. Coming back into your static pose, release the bricks for a moment, take your hands down, step back. Walk the dog again. Slowly walking the dog. Come back into your static downward facing dog, shift the weight into your left foot, reach up with that right leg, three-legged dog. When you're ready, take a bend in the right knee, shift the weight over the hands to step that right foot forward. If we can't, gently place that right foot with the hands. Find some height, bring the bricks towards you, or your yoga, or your books, your hardback books. We're going to come into that rocking lunge, stretching through the legs, slowly. Keep the length through the spine, keep the neck nice and relaxed. Coming back into your static lunge. Take the books out of the way, release your hands down. When you're ready, step back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk the legs again. Static downward facing dog, inhale in here, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bend the knees, look towards your hands, taking as many steps as you need. Walk the feet towards the hands, hands towards the feet. Take the hands to the inner elbows. Creating that rock shape, gently rock from side to side. Stretching out the backs of the legs. Draw the ribs towards the sides, release the neck. Crown the head towards the floor, come back to centre. Release the hands and slowly, carefully start to stack each vertebrae on top of one another. The knees are bent, the fingers, the hands and arms are heavy. Sensing that space around the shoulders. Keep breathing, keep stacking up slowly. The last thing to come up will be your neck and your head. Then you're able to straighten out through the legs. Straighten out through the knees. Coming into a good Tadasana. So I'm going to stand this way on so you can see me. We're going to come in to a twist variation of the Tadasana chair pose. So come into a good Tadasana, feet are hip width apart, sensing a connection to the four corners of the feet into the earth. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Keep that connection around the belly. Inhale here. As you exhale, take the arms out in front. Sit down into your comfy chair. Keeping that connection around the belly. Bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra. Bring them to heart space. Breathe in. Squatting down a little bit further if you can. If you want to stay here, please do. Feeling free to come out at any time and then sinking back down. If you want to come into the twist, push down into the feet as you start to rotate round towards the left, bringing your right elbow to the outer left knee. And as we start to twist, you push into that elbow and into the knee to try and get the hands in towards the centre of the chest. Staying here, breathing. If you want to open the chest a little bit more, take the left hand up towards the sky, the right fingers down towards the earth. Smiling and breathing. Bring the hands back together slowly, carefully come back to centre. Keeping that connection around the belly. Let's rotate to the right. Take the left elbow to the outer right knee. Pull it into that elbow to bring the hands in towards the centre of the chest. Squatting down. Hands can remain in the centre. We can open the chest, take the right hand up, left hand down. Breathing and smiling. release the arms and hands. The hands come back into Anjali Mudra. Slowly, carefully make your way back to centre. Couple more breaths. Well done. When you're ready, push down into the feet. Slowly, carefully coming all the way up. Give yourself a moment to catch your breath. Release the shoulders. Release fingers, hands and arms. Come into the middle of your mat facing me. So we're going to come into Trikonasana into a twist. We're going to need one yoga brick or a small hardback book placed towards the top right hand side of your mat. Coming into a comfortable wide stance, toes towards me. So as you widen your stance, check you don't feel unbalanced here. If you do, bring the stance slightly short to turn the toes on the right foot out, toes on the left foot into about 45 degrees. Nice active legs. The legs are going to stay straight. Guide your ribs, your hips towards me. Raise up the arms, release the shoulders. Turn your gaze over your right hand and then we're going to reach. Reach. I'm pulling your right fingers away. When you can't reach anymore, we've got that lovely length through the left side of the body. Take the right hand down, take the left hand up and just find the brick. Bring the brick for your right hand to rest on. Take your gaze up to your left hand if it's comfortable. If it's not, keep your gaze down towards your left foot. And breathe. When you're ready, look down towards your right foot. Take a bend in the left elbow, left hand onto left hip. And then you're going to swap the brick over. You're going to take the brick to behind the right foot. I like to keep pushing into the brick, keep pushing into the feet as we start to guide our ribs over towards that right thigh. So we're all of a sudden starting to straighten up through the body and our head is over our right foot. From here, take your right hand onto your right hip and cross the left arm across your body, finding that brick behind that right foot. We're going to push into the feet. We're going to push into the brick behind the right foot as we start to rotate to where it feels comfortable. Keep rotating, keep lengthening through the spine as we're not going to get that lovely rotation. Be mindful of how it feels through the hips, through the legs, and if you want to, you can take the right hand up, take your gaze up to the right hand. Keep breathing here. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring that right hand back down onto the right hip. Slowly, carefully turn your ribs towards your right thigh. And then we're going to swap the hands around. Take the left hand onto the left hip. Right hand onto the brick behind that right foot. Move the brick in front of that right foot. Push into the brick. Keep pushing, keep lengthening. Bringing your ribs back towards me. So we can take that right hand onto the brick, the left arm, left hand up. Coming back to how we started in Trikonasana, keeping your gaze up towards your left hand or down towards that right foot. Breathe in, ribs towards me. Inhale here. As we exhale, push into the feet, coming all the way up. Let's swap sides. Bring the brick in towards the left foot. Comfortable wide stance, feet towards me, pushing down into the feet, nice active legs. Turn the toes on your left foot out, the toes on the right foot in. Raise up the arms, ribs and hips towards me. When you're ready, reach. Turn your gaze over towards your left hand. Imagine I'm pulling your left fingers away. When you're ready, let's come down into our triangle Trikonasana. Move the brick in front of your left foot to rest the left hand on. Take the right arm, right hand up, gaze up to the right hand or down towards that left foot, ribs towards me. Breathe in. If your gaze isn't already down towards your left foot, turn your gaze down towards your left foot and move the brick behind the left foot. Take a bend in the right elbow, right hand onto right hip. Left hand is on the brick. We're going to push into the feet, push into that left hand. As you keep lengthening through the spine, you turn your ribs towards that left thigh. Keep lengthening. From here, we're going to take the left hand onto the left hip. We're going to cross the right arm, right hand across the body. The right hand finds that brick behind the left foot. We keep pushing into the feet. We keep pushing into that right hand on top of the brick to guide our ribs towards the back of the mat. Be mindful how it feels here. Don't take the twist too deep if it doesn't suit you today. And if you want to, take the left arm up. Breathe in. Inhale here. As you exhale, release the left hand onto the left hip. Push into the feet. Keep pushing into that right hand on the brick. Starting to guide the ribs back. Back over that left thigh. Bring the brick in front of that left foot. Take the right hand onto the right hip. Left hand onto the brick. Pushing into the feet. Pushing into the brick. Guiding the ribs back towards me. Back to how we started. Coming back into Trikonasana as you raise the right arm up. Gaze up to the right hand or down towards that left foot. Inhale here as you exhale. Very carefully coming all the way up. We're going to release the arms and the hands. Move the bricks out of the way, toes towards me. From here, we're going to turn the toes outwards. Bring the heels in. We're going to come into our final pose, goddess pose. So feeling comfortable here for the width of your stance. The heels are turned in to look after those and protect those SI joints. Draw the tummy in towards the spine. Keep that connection around the belly. Inhale here as you exhale. Squatting down, hands on the thighs. Keep your gaze down towards the mat. We're just going to bring the right shoulder in front. Turning our gaze down towards the left. Coming back up. This time bringing our left shoulder in front. So we look down towards the right. Inhale here, coming all the way back up. Exhale. Bringing the right shoulder in front, looking down towards the left. Keep breathing. Inhale here, coming all the way up, and our last one. Exhale. Taking the left shoulder in front, so we look down towards the right. Keep breathing, keep squatting down. Inhale here. As we exhale, coming all the way up. Squatting down a little bit more, keep the hands on the thighs. The navel drawing in. Inhale as we exhale, straighten up through the legs. Hands onto hips, heel toe all the way back. Feet are hip width apart, bend your knees. Let's massage out through the belly, the hips, front of the thighs, slowly, carefully. Change direction when you're ready. Coming back to centre. Push down into the feet. Slowly start to straighten the legs. Come all the way up. Release arms and hands. Let's get ready for our final relaxation. Our Shavasana. Finding extra layers that you need to put on. Socks to keep the feet warm. Extra cardigan. Blanket to cover the body, something to support the back of the head. Maybe an eye pillow for the eyes. Releasing all the way down into your Shavasana, into your constructive rest. Maybe you prefer just to widen the arms after our class today. Releasing the backs of the arms onto the floor, palms of the hands up towards the sky, or maybe you prefer to take a bend in the elbows, taking the hands onto the belly. Feel totally relaxed through the legs and the hips. Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe the legs are extended all the way out in front, just so sinking the bit of toes out to the top two corners of the And as you start to settle down into constructive rest, into your Shavasana, start by taking 3 deep breaths in and out. Start to soften around the features of your face. Start to soften around the scalp and the forehead and the eyes. The muscles around the eyes. Soften around the eyebrows. Just allow yourself a moment to unclench the jaw. Softening the tongue into the base of the mouth. Integration of our practice here today, mind, body, and spirit. I will leave my yoga class rested and still, in touch with my breath, my heart open, thankful I'm alive. Breathing in that I am a mountain, a rock, a tree. Breathing out, I am a flower, gentle, sweet, and tender. I wish no harm on any living thing. My gift to the world is a peaceful heart, and I give it now, in this moment, all that ever is, and all that will ever be. then carefully, very gently allow awareness to come back into the room, back onto your body, resting on the earth. Allowing some small movements into hands and fingers, feet and toes. Maybe circling around through the wrists, circling around through the feet and the ankles. And if it feels okay, and just as we started, finding the space in the body to stretch out into that lovely full body stretch. Take the arms overhead, stretch in from the fingers down through the whole length of the body into feet and toes. Releasing the arms carefully, bending up the knees. Draw the knees up towards the chest into a lovely self-embrace. Hugging the knees in, gently rocking from side to side. Knees come back to centre. Raise your right arm up. Keep that right arm elevated as you roll all the way over onto your right side. Resting here with your head on that raised arm. Allowing yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. When you're ready, and certainly in your own time, bring awareness into your left fingers, into your left hand. When you're ready, you're going to push down into that hand. Use your hand to steady yourself as you slowly, carefully push all the way back up, coming all the way back up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me in your yoga practice today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.